Welcome to BBF's interactive Q&A session today on allocation of client collateral with team ICCL. We are thankful for ICCL management, Mrs. Devika Shah, Mr. Tushar Ambani, Mr. Piyush Chaurasia, and from the ICCL operations team, we have Hitesh Shah, Vijayata, Ajay Damodranji, and from ICCL risk management team, we have Trupti, Diksha, Pratiksha, Rahul, and Dinkle. Members, kindly note, today's webinar is for members to understand the operational modalities of the collateral settlement, wherein the topic of collateral allocation and margin blocking in the risk management systems shall be covered. Before we begin, we request Lalitji Mundra, our Chairman BBF, to say a few words, please. Lalitji, over to you.
Yeah, welcome friends, welcome team ICCL, welcome Nilesh Bhai from Comtech, and welcome all the participating members. As we all know that we are nearing the due date, the 2nd May, wherein we all will be required to report the collaterals on client level basis. And as we are aware that this is emanating from the SEBI circular of 28th July 2021. And we had an introductory session at BBF on 4th of March, wherein all the basic details were covered through presentations, and a lot of terminology, a lot of examples were shared. And we got a basic feel of everything which is going to take place. Now we are quite days have passed since then, and we are aware that recent circulars have come from the clearing corporation through RTRMS, what all is to be done on day one, and what are the timelines for release, for repledge, for unpledge, and so on and so forth. We also believe that in case of lack of proper allocation, the proper penalties which are proposed are perhaps not going to be levied for the initial 3 months. And as we interact with members, we think that there is a lack of confidence amongst the members. They are not fully confident as of now whether they are ready in terms of their back office or front office or any middleware which they are making it themselves. So therefore, we thought it is appropriate to have one more session today, although some sessions have taken place with other clearing corporations or with other member associations. So we also thought that we'll have a session today, and we have all the experts over here in the panel. So with these few words, I once again welcome you all. And
thank you, Lalitji. Members, kindly note, this is a Q&A session. So you are requested to raise your virtual hands and ask your questions. We kindly refrain for typing the question because sometimes it becomes too tedious to read and there are duplications which happen. So please raise your virtual hands and we'll take you in and you can ask your questions to team ICCL. So should we begin? Trupti and T colleagues, please. Hitesh Bhai, everybody.
Sure. We'll see.
SPG, your question, please.
Yeah. Hello. So we are a trading member come clearing member for F&O segment, and we clear the trades for NRI where CP code is taken by us. Okay. Now, how do we divide a prop capital, because we are a one single legal entity? So how do you divide a prop capital between the TM prop and a CM prop? And can I say entire prop as a CM prop? So even TM client can use the same prop and the CP code client can use the same prop. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Trupti.
Yeah. Could you hear
Hello.
my question?
Yes. Basically, your question is regarding the collateral allocation for clearing for the CP code and the normal client code.
So I am a TM come CM.
TM.
So I have a single prop capital because I have a same legal entity.
Right.
Say my prop capital is 10 crore. How do I divide this prop capital between TM prop and a CM prop, and is it necessary? And I can say entire prop is a CM prop because I am one and same.
But you might be receiving the collateral from the client also.
No, client collateral I will report as it is. Suppose there are 10 clients who has given 1 crore each, I will report that collateral.
Right.
Now all these 10 clients using 100%, I need to have around 1 crore 20 lakhs of mine.
So that
half of that are a TM client, half of that are a CP code client.
right. So you
But-
can a particular collateral you can report under the clearing member, like the pro under the pro account.
So suppose I as an entity I have a 10 crore prop capital. If I say entire prop capital as CM prop, okay, then the trading members customer going about 90%. First you will check whether trading member prop is there or not. If not there, you will check CM member prop is there or not, right?
Right.
But
Correct.
TM will not go in RRM. Na?
No, TM will go in RRM if
No,
collateral is not
if
available.
TM goes in RRM, then
Huh.
what is the advantage of a CM prop capital when I am the same legal entity? See, I
Okay.
am a TM come CM.
Right.
Because
So you
for
can
because for a CP code client, you will go and check the CM prop. And for a TM client, you will go and check TM prop.
Okay.
But we are a TM CM, right? I am a same legal entity. My prop has no difference between TM prop and a CM prop.
So
how do I
basically,
divide this? Ideally,
okay.
for a broker where the CP code client trades also is for a same TM.
Right.
Everything can be CM prop.
CM prop come under the CM prop. So whatever comes under the whatever trade come under the TM, that trades also consider under the CM prop, and whatever trades come under the CP code, that also consider under the CM prop, right?
The trade which comes under a TM should also be marked against the CM prop, and trade
CM
which
prop.
are coming in CP code will also be marked against CM prop.
CM
So
prop.
CP
Okay.
code will be marked against CM prop. That is very clear because they are a
Clear,
clearing members
right.
customer, direct customer.
Right. Correct.
Now I am as a clearing member, I have one more customer which is trading member, which is myself.
Correct.
Now I am saying, how do I divide my prop capital between two buckets? Now it becomes too challenging.
Right. I'll check this and I'll get back to
There
you.
is a sufficient capital, but I
Right.
can't
I understand.
visualize which day, which customer, because I have to bring in around 12% of whatever they are going above 90%, right?
90. Correct.
So it becomes too challenging to divide within a same entity between two buckets for a same segment.
Same segment. Right.
And CP code customer, the another challenge is CP code customer is a CP code customer for FNO, for cash is a TM customer. So it becomes then four buckets.
Correct.
It becomes extremely challenging to even send the segregation, etc., and becomes too complicated.
Right. So I'll check.
As a CM, for me, how do I forecast?
Right. I'll check this and I'll get back to you on this point.
Uttam ji, sorry, Lalit ji, chairman साहब.
Yes, तो
अपने ये पाक कर लेंगे भाई, ये क्यूरी का अपने को लेना है रेस्पॉन्स, क्योंकि अभी टाइम बचा नहीं है.
Sure. तो आप वो राइटिंग में भी एक बार फ्रेम करके दे दीजिए so that it makes easier for everyone to understand.
हाँ, मैंने राइटिंग में तो ग्रुप में भेजा है, वापस
ग्रुप में से निकल जाएगा सेशन.
हाँ, मैं भेज देता हूँ.
ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Malav ji, your question, please. Malav ji. A question from Anand Rathi Group.
Sir, we have a 3 question. First question is that one second. First question is that on T+2, when in case of buyer client and on T+2, when the open bill becomes clear and the balance become adjust and the open bill debit adjusted with the balance, but up to 1045 the margin requirement will be there. So in that case, whether the fund will be debited from pro? Hello.
Trupti, Hitesh bhai.
Hello.
Yeah. Question is that on T+2 in case of buyer client. In case of buyer client and on T+2, when the open bill becomes adjusted with the ledger balance, means the ledger balance becomes clear with the clear debit, right? So in that case, up to 1045, when the paying obligations get closed, So up to 10:45, when the balance is becomes 0, then in that case, the margin will be debited from the pro account.
See, if the buyer, that particular client has the allocation, so that particular margin will be blocked from the that particular client's allocation. Okay, if the sufficient collateral is not available at client level, then that collateral will deduct from the trading member or clearing member's collateral.
No, simple. For example,
Huh.
simple. A client have a 10 lakh rupees on the day
Right.
one. He buys the position on the T day. So on T day, the allocation will be done for the 10 lakh, and whatever margin will be adjusted from 10 lakh. On T plus one, when the balance is still under open bill, so as a EDT balance, the balance will be 10 lakh only, and the margin utilization will be adjusted with that 10 lakh rupees as a EDT balance. On T plus 2, when this 10 lakh buying becomes adjust with this 10 lakh ledger balance, the ledger balance becomes 0. But the margin will be standing up to 10:45 because the paying settlement will be closed at 10:45. So up to 10:45, whether the balance will be debit from pro or not.
See, in this case, whatever margin block on T day, that will continue till T plus 2 day, till the settlement completed, right? So that you cannot release till the settlement of the particular settlement number. Okay, so that will available in the RTRMS.
Okay.
So there is no adjustment against your settlement paying.
So there are two parts to it. Yeah. So there are two parts to it. The query of member is more from the compliance point of view. So first, in the beginning of the this webinar only, it was clarified there is in this compliance teams are not there. So in your leisure, how are you going to maintain? Maybe your question can be passed on to the compliance team. From the operational point of view, as Trupti said, in this RTRMS system, this margin remains blocked till you complete your paying with the clearing corporation. Once your paying is done, this margin will get released for each respective client as well as your prop positions, and you can use those limits for your further trading.
So means since the margin will be blocked, then definitely if
your voice is not clear. Hello.
It means if the margin will be blocked, and the EDT balance will be becomes, for example, in the given case 10 lakh, then the pro money will be debited, will be blocked.
See, if your margin is let's say 1,10,000, okay, and you have only 10,000. So, hello.
Hello.
You have only 1 lakh rupees in client allocation. Okay. In that case, whatever margin of 90% margin will block from the client collateral, and 10% margin will be blocked from the trading member or clearing member collateral.
Okay.
Can I answer?
That will be continued till T plus 2 day. After the paying payout complete, that margin will get released, and that will be free for another obligation.
Okay. Can I answer his question?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. See, what is happening, in your example, you said 10 lakh bought on day 1, which is settled on T plus 2, that is on day 3. Suppose there is a cycle of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So on Wednesday, till 10:45 or so, your margin will get blocked, which is happening in peak margin also. Now, when you said your effective debt balance is 0, you can always add that yesterday's 10 lakh. So your ledger balance will show as 10 lakh, and the margin will not be you will not violate that. If you don't do that, then the prop there will be a dimmed allocation of 10 lakh rupees equivalent margin.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, just to understand, you can assume that the bill is prepared later on after 10:45, just for logical understanding.
Okay. Okay. Second, how to handle unclear fund? Hello. Unclear fund. How to handle unclear fund?
Uncleared funds means unallocated fund.
Uncleared fund. For example, client has made the payment, but payment is not cleared till now. For example, NEFT has done, but it is not yet cleared.
Okay. Tushar sir, could you please
because in our format we have a EPI column, we don't have the column for the uncleared fund.
Right. So this unclear fund column is missing, which has been presented. Just for all the people information, I am not from compliance. I am Nilesh Sangani from Comtech, just replying on exchange behalf on certain issues, So whatever I say is not related to the, I mean, may not be same as a compliance angle because the compliance team is right now not present. Anyway, to answer your question, the unclear check, they are not taking as a column, which has been represented to both the CC. So they will have to revert back.
Okay. And the last question is that if suppose we buy in a cash market and sold after the peak margin print, मतलब cash market में खरीदा, meantime में peak margin लग गया, and I sold that shares, and then in my front office the fund will be released for the client, and the client allowed to do F&O. So when I do the reallocation of fund from cash to F&O, whether it will be allowed to transfer cash to F&O complete balance, or peak margin will be blocked and the balance will be released to FO?
Hitesh bhai, can I answer?
So yeah, Nilesh bhai, 1 second. So Nilesh bhai basically will answer you from the members back office software point of view, but the questions what you are raising is in your ledger balance vis-a-vis actually what is happening in the trading system. So these are completely two different systems. So please don't correlate what is happening in your back office ledger of that client vis-a-vis what is happening in the trading system.
No, sir, it not with respect to ledger. For example, as a client have a balance in cash market, for example 10,000.
So
okay, and
this balance is in where? It is with the clearing corporation system.
Just to complete, sir. I as a client having a balance of 10,000 in the broker ledger, and the same is allocated to the clearing corporation also, to the ICCL also. For example, clearing also as a allocation amount in the cash segment, right? So at the both level 10,000 is the allocation, and now at the front office of the broker I purchase, suppose karo the margin value of 5,000 rupees. I purchase the shares, and at 10 o'clock and at 12 o'clock I sold those shares in the cash market. So between 10 and 12, for example, peak margin printed 4,000 rupees, and later after suppose at 1 o'clock I so in the broker front office, since my cash position is buy and sell, it becomes the position becomes square up, and my whatever M2M is there, for example M2M is 0, so my fund will be released in the front office as a 10,000 only, and I take a F&O position at 12 o'clock, sorry 1 o'clock I take the F&O position. So whether of 10,000 rupees I take the position of F&O, so whether the broker whether I can able to transfer the entire 10,000 from cash to F&O from the clearing, or I will able to transfer only 6,000 because 4,000 will be blocked against peak margin, which is printed between 10 to 12. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Aji.
So what you are saying, you have taken position worth 10,000 and you are squared up also worth 10,000, maybe.
I have a balance of 10,000 rupees in the start of the day, and the same is allocated in the front office of the broker as well as in the ICC, in the clearing also as a allocation. Then at 10 o'clock I take a position of suppose 4,000 margin in cash market. Okay, at 10 o'clock, and I sold it at 12 o'clock, the same cash position, right? So now if I see at the end of the day I have no margin required because I have square up my position. But between 10 and 12 the peak margin got printed. For example, peak margin printed is 4,000 rupees, and since in the front end office in my position got square up, so balance become free, and I allow client to buy in F&O, and the client buy the F&O position of suppose 10,000 rupees, at 1 o'clock. So now if I want to, and in the morning I have allocated the 10,000 rupees in the cash market, cash segment. So if I want to transfer the 10,000 from cash to FO, whether I will be allowed to transfer and cash 10,000 rupees from cash to F&O, or only the free balance, that is 10,000 minus peak margin 4,000 rupees. So balance 6,000 will be allowed to transfer from cash to F&O.
So if you have taken a position worth 4,000 and after some time you're scared of that position, the same position, so naturally your limit, which is reduced to 6,000, again gets reinstated 10,000 rupees. From the trading system point of view, again I'm saying, in your ledger, since you have used it at that time, if this snapshot is taken for you to report that margin, then in the margin reporting file it will come. But from the trading point of view, that 10,000 is now available after you square up the position, you can transfer it to F&O position. So again, what we are saying, reiterated, from trading point of view, you can transfer. From compliance point of view, you need to again check with your compliance team whether that you can use 4,000 or 6,000. That is what we are making it very clear. So this is your point is more from the compliance point of view. Again, once again, I'm repeating. So these queries need to be answered by compliance team, because there is no compliance person here in this webinar.
Can we?
And this is, by the way, this is even happening today also. It is nothing to do with the new segregation system.
No. Can I get a mail ID or the number or concerned person name, number?
What we intend to do is we will compile these queries which are not answered, and the team BBF will make a compilation, send it to ICCL, and we'll wait for the answers.
So, sir, Lalitji, whether we have to give this points on the forum or
so if you have readily, you can mail it to us also right now, or maybe after the webinar. So that will be better. That will be better. Although my team, the BBF team, is also trying to make a compilation.
No, if you can just see, this is a part of FAQs published by the exchanges when the peak margin system came. Probably this has been answered there. If you can just go through those FAQs published by the exchanges.
Well, you can just mail it to us, and then we'll forward. Tushar bhai will forward it to you accordingly, sir.
Okay.
You just compile it and just send it to. We will give you the email ID. There you can send it.
Malavji, your question, please. Malavji. Pooja ji, your question.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I have 5 to 6 questions. My first question is, can we expect NMAS to show us pro accounts real-time margin position so that we can see how much collateral we have allocated to pro versus total?
You are associated with NCL or ICCL?
NCL.
NCL. So they will provide you the exact picture of NMAS, because we are with we are presenting
today as informed, we are with ICCL team.
ICCL.
NCL,
right.
You can take it up with them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And in case of any change in Q client's allocation, whether only those records required changing are to be uploaded, or all the records we have to upload?
Pooja, it is better that you get clarity from NCL, because they might have some different logic for allocation and segregation.
Whatever is applicable in ICCL, we may please share, so that at least the members who have the similar query.
Yeah, but I think process thought would be same now for all the exchanges.
Okay. So could you please repeat your question, Pooja, once again?
Yes. In case of any change in Q client's allocation, whether only those records requiring change are to be uploaded, or all the records need to be uploaded?
Yeah, Pooja Vijayta, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
See, basically, you have to give allocation of the clients where the limits are changing, the revised limits.
Okay. Only reallocate codes. No need to send the all code.
Original allocation you have to, and going forward for the clients where the revised limits are changing, you have to give the revised limits for those clients where the change is there.
So for all members, it is reiterated. You have to upload the client allocation file or maybe API only for those clients where you want to trade. Please don't upload for all the clients where there is no going to be any trading for that client on that day. Only upload for those clients where you want to assign limits and trade. So that is part. So if a client has zero limit and he's not going to trade, please don't upload that data at all. You can only upload, and you should only upload data of those client allocation where the client is going to trade for that date. And if you want to change that also intraday, through intraday file upload, you can change the limits as well. And you can add also, if intraday some client comes, you can add those clients limit in the intraday files also.
So that file, we need to upload the whole file or only that additional client?
Only additional file, only
additional client. Now, okay. And if a client's for increase in client's allocation from say 10K to 12K, whether the data to be uploaded shall be 2K, that is the difference, or 12K.
So if it is initially you 10,000 clients who are going to trade, then that 10,000 becomes 12,000. Only 2,000 clients data you need to upload, or even
yes. Okay.
So that is the part. So during the course of the day, out of this 12,000, if you want to change the limits for let us say 300 clients, only for these 300 clients only you need to upload. Don't upload any client details which is not going to change the limits.
Okay. And if there is an increase in client allocation from say 10K to 12K, then whether the data to be uploaded shall be 2K or 12K.
So that is where
yeah, Pooja, 12,000, the revised limit.
Revised limit. Okay. And is it compulsory to upload client-wise collateral every morning, or previous day file will?
Yeah, Pooja,
automatically.
Pooja, we will just reiterate again. This is from ICCL systems point of view, the revised limits to be allocated.
So please check with your NCL if they have some different logic. From ICCL point of view, you have to upload files for the revised limit. So if 10,000, 12,000, then you put 12,000 in the new file. Or if 10,000 is becoming 8,000, you put 8,000 in that file. That is a limit. And the transfer wise also, you have to put the transfer amount only in the segments.
My question is different. That is it mandatory to upload client-wise collateral every morning, or previous day allocation will get be used? For example,
can I take this, Tushar bhai? Can I take this with your permission, Pooja? See, what is happening is day one, you are uploading say 1,000 clients balances. Number of clients are 1,000. On day two, you don't need to re-upload this client if there is no change. Am I clear? Suppose only 200 clients balances are changing, then you don't need to upload all 800 clients again. Number one. Number two, suppose the client limit is 20,000, which you have uploaded on day one, and now you intend to increase the limit to 25,000. Then you will have to upload 25,000. They will overwrite 20,000 by 25,000 for that client. Third thing, if the client earlier limit was 20,000, and if you want to decrease it to say 18,000, then you will have to write 18,000. 20,000 will be overwritten by 18,000, provided, so the decrease in limit, provided that at that point of time, margin was not utilized.
And if there is no change in the client limit, then also
you don't need to upload. Say, just to give you that again examples, on 2nd May, you are uploading 1,000 clients, and assume that all these clients limits are not changing in the your back office ledger, etc. So you don't need to upload till say 4 days, 5 days, whenever there is no change in the balance. Only changes in figure needs to be uploaded.
Okay.
It will be like it will remain lifelong until you change.
Okay. So
see,
this is from
the
ICCL point of view. From NCL, we need to confirm.
Both. No, both.
All. Okay. Thank you so much.
See, this confusion is arising probably because most of the front office engine in the market, they always truncate every day morning. Whereas here it is not like that. For allocation, once you upload allocation, then it will remain until you change. Yeah.
Harishji, your question, please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, मेरा question है ना, कोलेटरल अपग्रेडेशन के लिए है, कोलेटरल में क्या कंसीडर करना है वो मेरे को उसके लिए क्वेश्चन था। एक हम लोग कंसीडर कर रहे हैं आईसीसीएल का जो फाइल आता है अपना होल्डिंग स्टेटमेंट, उसको कंसीडर करते हैं कोलेटरल के लिए। तो उसमें सर है ना, वी आर द सेल्फ क्लियरिंग मेंबर इन एफएनओ, तो उसमें यूटिलाइज टूवर्ड द एमएलएन 50 लाख माइनस करते हैं उसमें, तो वो हमको प्रो में दिखाना है या उसको इग्नोर करना है 50 लाख को?
50 lakhs आपको exclude करके बाकी जो additional collateral whatever you have submitted to the CC across all segments, तो वो segment-wise you have to give the allocation for cash and cash equivalent collateral.
तो इसको प्रो में भी नहीं दिखाना है मैडम? 50 लाख को हटा ही देना है?
Yes, excluded.
क्योंकि जैसे इनहेंस में एक्सक्लूड करते हैं हम, लेकिन इसमें हम प्रो में लास्ट टाइम जब बात हुआ था ये नॉर्मल जब कर रहे हैं अपलोडेशन, तो उसमें दिखाया था कि प्रो में दिखाना है आपको, इसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं करना है, लेकिन प्रो में दिखा सकते हो 50 लाख।
एमएलएन हम लोग हमारे एंड पे वो एक्सक्लूड करेंगे, वी विल यूज इट फॉर एमएलएन, वो हमारा इंटरनल रहेगा। तो व्हाटएवर यू हैव टू गिव ओवर एंड अबाउट दैट एमएलएन, व्हाटएवर एडिशनल कोलैटरल अक्रॉस ऑल सेगमेंट्स जो भी आपका है, वो आपको सेगमेंट वाइज यू हैव टू जस्ट गिव द एलोकेशन इन योर प्रॉपर्टी।
तो मैम आप बोल रहे हो मतलब 50 लाख को मैं रिपोर्ट में शो ही नहीं करूं, करेक्ट ना?
हाँ, यस, मत शो कीजिए।
और इनिशियल डिपॉजिट जो मैडम होता है 25 लाख कैश में और 45 लाख एफएनओ में दिया, ये इनिशियल डिपॉजिट है मेरा, होल्डिंग स्टेटमेंट में जो शो करता है लिमिट के, उस पे अगेंस्ट लिमिट भी मिलती है, तो उसको ऐड करना है प्रो में?
यस, उसको आपको ऐड करना पड़ेगा,
है ना। और मैम एक बीजी के लिए है, बीजी में फंडेड और नॉन फंडेड, तो फंडेड को प्रो में रखूं और नॉन फंडेड को एलोकेट करूं?
फंडेड,
so again funded non-funded is your compliance part. Total BG, suppose 1 crore का total BG है,
हाँ.
इधर allocation में there are two concepts. One is the the fungible bank guarantee, one is the non-fungible. कोई बैंक वाले segment specific bank guarantee देते हैं, और कोई बैंक वाले आपको fungible
we have fungible.
So if you have fungible बैंक गारंटी प्लस अदर कैश इक्विवेलेंट कोलैटरल, उसका टोटल माइनस 50 लाख जो अगर डेरिवेटिव्स है तो तो आपको एलोकेशन अपलोड करना है।
और सर मैं हाँ सर, मैं एक और था क्वेश्चन कि यानी प्रो में मेरे को, यानी प्रो में मेरा जितना फंड है उतना मेरे को प्रो में अलग से एलोकेट करके दिखाना है, या जो बैलेंस बच गया वो प्रो का हो गया?
नहीं, आपको सब पूरा ब्रेकअप देना है, क्लाइंट प्रो वो सब देना है।
अच्छा, मेरा प्रो का कितना है वो पहले से ही मेरे को उसमें सेग्रीगेट करके देना पड़ेगा, इतना 25 करोड़ मेरा प्रो का है, बाकी क्लाइंटल का है?
Yes, you have to give that segregation.
Okay, thank you.
Amit ji, your question please. Brinda ji, your question.
Yes sir, I'm from Kedrose. I would like to know that we have to upload EOD file before 6 p.m. daily. Can you just let me know that does billing effect comes into consideration in this? Hello.
Nilesh bhai, would you like to take this?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Sir, every day EOD file we have to upload, and before 6 p.m. we have to upload the EOD file for client collateral allocation. Do we have to consider the open bills, EPI credit, and margin effect consideration to that? Like client have traded for 10,000 today. For today, EPI is also done and margin also done. So what actual balance do we have to upload for that client for allocation?
If you ask me from back office angle, it will be you can consider 80% of EPI, but again it is subject to the compliance people. As of today, things are like that. So early paying, because see what will happen, suppose if client is selling 100 rupees stock in cash market, so the 20 rupees margin will be blocked or might be deemed allocation. Now what will happen is at the end of day, if you do early paying, you can take a credit of that, which is like 20%. So there will not be any short allocation penalty levied by the CC.
Correct. Now, sir, actually the timing is 6 p.m. and most probably early pay in the schedule around 9 p.m.
Correct. So that practical difficulty already has been communicated to both the CC, and we are awaiting for the reward from the compliance team of CC.
Okay. So now, Okay. Now EOD file which will upload and T+1 segregation reporting which we are doing currently. There may be difference in the allocation in both the files because client may have given some ledger balance. Client may have given after the EOD file upload but before trading hours. So do we have to again upload the same before reporting?
See, there is a dilemma here. So again, that answer is awaited because obviously when you submit something and then you do fund payout or share payout, your client answer is bound to change, right? And if CC is taking that file of 1st October, which is on T+1 till 1 o'clock, so the figure may change. So, I mean, that is not very clear as of today.
Okay. Now, for short allocation penalty, sir, the 20% upfront margin calculation has to be considered. That for any trade, I have to maintain 20% upfront margin for that client, and I have to allocate pre-trade.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, sir. Another question which I would like to ask about EPI credit. Now, if currently the process is as such that we give benefit to clients real time, if they want to trade, they can sell the stocks before allocation. How will that work, sir?
No, see, if you are selling anything, CC will do a deemed allocation at that point of time. If you are selling 100 rupees stock, CC will do a deemed allocation of 20 rupees. Correct? And then becomes subject to your early paying at the end of day.
No, but that means that was short allocation at that point of time. So client can sell without margin.
No, 1 minute. The difference between short allocation and deemed allocation. CC, see, understand CC. Clearing corporation will check whether that client collateral is registered in their book or not. If not, in this case, 100 rupees sold by the client, there was no allocation earlier. So they will say it is deemed allocation. But at the end, that is before 5 or 6, you can justify that if you have done early paying. Till that time, it will be deemed. If you don't do early paying, they will charge penalty on that.
Okay, so what would be the considerable amount for that penalty? Like, do I have to allocate the same before 3:30 or before 6 p.m.?
Trupti madam, is there any timing fix? The revised allocation for rebalancing? It should be around between 5 to 6, I think.
Tushar sir, could you please confirm the timings for early paying and reallocation?
No, reallocation timing.
Hello.
So again, what the way we understand the question is, whatever you are giving credit to the client from the early payment point of view or for any other point of view, so that is whether to be compared with the what you allocated to the client is again, as Nilesh Bhai said, it's a compliance issue. This question will be sent to the compliance, but the operational point of view, what we can say is early paying, what you are going to do is going to reduce that client's margin which is blocked, and that much limit will be available to you for trading on the next day. So if your client has given 10,000 rupees to you and you have done some early paying, then to that extent your limit will be available for that client to trade on the next day. If it is already blocked against the sell position, to that extent it will get released. But if you are saying if a client has given you additional collateral and you want to update that limit, you can update on the same day till 8 in the 8 p.m. In which case that will be available to you on the next trading day. And if you miss out on that,
I'll reframe the question. Client has stock in the demand. They have to sell without margin. The early paying will be done, but before trade, do I have to allocate the same?
You don't have to allocate in case of sell transaction.
Okay, so what would be the time period before I have to allocate? Like early paying would be done only after.
It is as of, to the best of my knowledge, it will be between 5 to 6 p.m. So till that time, if you reallocate or if you rebalance or if you justify it should be fine.
Okay.
Timings are like early paying will take will be allowed till what, 7:38.
Okay. Last question, sir. If broker is not into pro trade, then the non-funded part of BG will not be utilized for any transactions.
Yeah, Trupti madam.
So again, this is the in your books, clearing corporations collateral system will not come to know whether it is how much funded or not funded. So what SEBI circular says is, whatever funded and non-funded, accordingly you have to allocate. That is back to back within your back office system. You have to maintain that, and accordingly, whatever is permitted by SEBI, accordingly you can allocate out of that funded and non-funded to your client and to your prop positions from the trading point of view. So so it's again a compliance issue. So please go through the SEBI circular or raise a query to Mr. Vispi Gatena, and he will forward it to the compliance team for your further clarification.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Atulji, your question? Atulji Choksi. Question from Anvil. Atulji, please, your question, please.
Yeah, hello. Sir,
yes, please.
Yeah, in the morning, we have allocated something. Suppose a client gives me a fund of rupees 1 lakh rupee, and we have allocated the same. Okay. And the client we want to, when we are going, transferring the same from one section to another segment, then जब हम उसको zero कर रहे हैं, in CM segment we have allocated 1 lakh rupee. When I'm uploading the file to make it the allocation 1 lakh rupee to 0, it is not happening right now. Transfer is happening, but when we are reducing the same from 1 lakh to 50, it's happening. But when we are doing it 0, it's not reducing the same.
अतुल जी.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, अभी आप एक बार ट्राई कर लीजिए ना.
ठीक है. Okay, हम चेक कर लेते हैं.
हाँ, एक बार ट्राई कर लीजिए, हो जाएगा ये आपका.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Vispi sir, can we take the next question, please?
Yeah, can you hear me? My system. Oh, yes. Question from Anvil Management, please.
Yes, this is Mitesh here from Anvil Share. Am I audible to you?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is till I understand the system is coming into the place on 1st of May. So the next working day would be the 2nd May, right? Because 1st is Sunday. So on 2nd May we will be reporting the trading day Friday, that is 29th trades, right? End of day. Or do we report we take trading day as 2nd May and we report on 4th, since 3rd being a Saturday, 3rd being a holiday.
So, hello sir, Vijeta here. So Friday, we are going to keep the extranet portal open for you to provide the client.
Can you repeat that again, please? I think we lost you.
Hello. Hello.
Ah.
Hello.
Yes, Vijeta, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, Vispi sir, I just got disconnected for a while. So what I was telling. What I was telling, sir, that Friday we are going to keep the member extranet portal accessible to members to upload the client collateral allocation data.
Okay.
Which the same will be forwarded for the mock testing also, and the same.
Again, getting disconnected.
Vijeta, your voice is getting cracked. Nilesh bhai, Hitesh bhai, can you take it, please?
What was the question? Just
the question was that the system is coming into the place on 1st. So 1st being a Sunday, the next working day is 2nd May, that is a Monday. So do we report end of day file on Monday for the trading date 29th of April? Am I clear on that?
I think Tushar bhai needs to answer that, but yes, 29th April.
29th ही हमें आंसर ICCL से मिला था, 29th से हमें शुरू करना है.
Hello. So what we advise members, since all the members are going to upload it at the same time, so we are going to provide facility on Friday evening itself to the members to upload their collateral allocation files or through files or through API. And that will be helpful for members to see their limits on Saturday when the mock session is going to be conducted. So on Friday evening only, you please update it. And for any reason you think that there are some changes required, then you can always upload the balance files or balance records for changing the earlier limits on Monday morning also, or intraday at any point of time.
Okay, but otherwise it was like just one file had to be uploaded at the end of the day.
So so as a process, whatever file you upload on Friday evening,
okay,
that will remain that will continue on Monday also, and thereafter also for those clients, those limits you don't need to change again. That will continue till you change it. So suppose if you uploaded for 10,000 clients on Friday evening, and you think that you want to start the day on Monday, the trading with this 10,000 client limits, so you don't have to do anything. Only you have to do is just check your limits in RTRMS, whether the limits are properly visible, allocated in that RTRMS, so that when the actual trading starts, those limits will be blocked as per the logic provided.
So on Saturday, will there be a mock, or do we see the live limits on Saturday?
On Saturday, you will see the live limits, and the mock will be on live limits only. Mock trading session will be on the live limits. So those members who want to, in fact, all members should participate in that mock with their live limits ideally, so that at least you can check it. You can also check it during the mock also by changing the limits, but those limits will not get reflected on Monday. Only Friday evening limits only will get reflected on Monday. So if you want to test with intraday limits, you can do it on mock session, but Friday evening position will continue on Monday morning. Thereafter also, if you want to change, only for those clients where you think limits are to be changed, only for those clients you can upload the records on Monday.
Okay, so to conclude my question, this is my understanding that though the system is being starting on 1st of May, but still on Friday 29th, the effect will be taken. We can upload the file on 29th May for the live.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
And this is very, very important part, because those members who will not upload the file on Friday evening, or maybe ideally Friday evening, in all probability on Monday morning their trading will not start, because without that allocation SEBI will not and SEBI doesn't permit for the trading to be, limits to be available. So members need to upload by Friday evening all their limits, and whatever limits they want to change, they can always change on Monday morning. If you don't update, then on Monday morning all your members you will see in RRM mode. Then in order to avoid last minute rush, it is strongly suggested, please update your collateral by Friday evening, so that on Saturday you can see that limits properly, so you have fairly good idea that how it is going to open on Monday.
There's a question for marginable CP quote trades. How are we supposed to do allocation? We never receive any margin settlement amount from client. Currently on the T day, the custodian matches the trade, and we are not required to collect any margin. If we are not required to collect any margin, then how can we allocate to that client? And if we are not allocating anything to the client, or we are using deem allocation, will any penalty come into the picture? Tushar bhai, Nilesh bhai.
Client is marginable or non-marginable?
Marginable CP code.
I think for marginable, you need to allocate if you collect margin. It is a question which is typed, right? So
yes.
Then we'll take it offline, because we need to ask a reverse question.
Fair enough. Virendra ji, your question, please. Virendra ji,
you mentioned that if on Friday we do not allocate, on Monday we will not be able to do. So presently, what the other CCs are doing is for the migration on the migration day, all the cash collateral they will be allocating to the member prop. And so if some member is not even able to allocate, if there is a sudden system rush, nobody will face a challenge. In any case, for the first 3 months, there is no penalty. So instead of forcing everybody to upload on Friday and get into a mess Monday morning, why don't we follow the same practice which other CCs are following?
We'll just check with our compliance team and get back to you on this, sir.
Yeah, okay, because that is important. And the second question is, what happens if an instrument is about to expire? Supposing some instrument will expire on the 4th of May, will the member need to do any level of deallocation for that FDR PG which is expiring, or you will be actually essentially allocating within a total cash collateral pool? So only that pool size will reduce.
So for any instrument which is expiring, just like today also, the limit will go out of the system. However, the difference being in the revised scenario, when the instrument expires, the system will not know which clients or which teams limits are to be removed. So a member will have to be very careful in advance to renew those instruments. Otherwise, at the end of the day, system will reduce it whatever is from the CM's whatever available limits, and all probabilities, if the limit is not there, then CMA under him all teams will go into RRM.
No, we need to understand this slightly better. So if supposing their member had 100 crore of collateral and margin use was say 80 crores, and if his collateral expiring on that particular next trading day is say 25 crores,
yeah,
then how will it work? Whom will you deallocate from?
No, so can you please repeat what you're saying?
Let's say the CM had 100 crore of collateral and the total margin under the CM was 80 crores. Now there are two use cases. One, the total BG FDR expiring is just 5 crores. And second example is if the BG FDR expiring is say 25 crores. In the two situations, what will the CC do?
So suppose from limit reduction point of view, we will only look at the CM's limits. And if CM limit already is available, then that 5 crore will get reduced, and still if it is in positive, then the trading can continue with the less limits for that same level. But if the 5 crore is not enough limit available under CM, then CM will go into negative and all TMs under him will go into negative. That means RRM. The one more possibility is there. There is a unallocated collateral concept now getting into this system. Is a total collateral of members equivalent will be first considered as an entire unallocated on say T-1 day, end of day as we said on Friday basically evening. So on Friday evening, you will have fairly good idea what is the unallocated cash and cash equivalent amount, and against that amount only you can allocate. You can't allocate anything more. Now let us say on Friday evening itself some instrument is expiring, then it will get reduced from your unallocated amount itself. So to that extent the limit will go down, and the same principle will remain in future also. So if it is available from to be reduced from unallocated amount, then there is no problem. But if it is not available to be reduced from unallocated, then same limit will be first adjusted. And if it is there, then member will go into RR.
Okay. And the last question is, will we be able to see the real-time client code-wise margin along with the allocation of how much of it is against his stock, how much is from the deemed allocation of the member prop capital?
Yes, it will be reflected in RTRMS system under client margin report. So all the margin utilized against the client, against the trading member, it is available.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Rajeshji, your question, please.
Yeah, my question was that is there any limit of fund switching from one segment to another for a day for a specific client?
So there is no limit as such. If you are trying to transfer a limit from one client from that segment to the same to another segment, that is possible without limit, provided you have unutilized limit from the segment when you are from where you are taking it away out.
Got it.
If it is blocked, then system will not permit you to take it out and transfer it to other segment. Otherwise, you can transfer.
Okay.
Sunilji, your question, please. Tusharji, your question. Tushar Marathe. Manojji, your question, please. Manojji, Manoj Goyal.
Hello.
Haji, boliye. Yes, sir.
My question is this, that a client has pledged the share to me. I am a trading member. The same share has not been repledged to the CC. So it is to be reported to CC. Hello.
Hitesh bhai,
yeah, Manojji, question is what you have pledged the shares to CC, TM. Client has pledged shares to TM.
And TM has not repledged the same to CC.
Fine. So you can allocate. You can allocate this shares, this value of the shares.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sunilji, your question, please.
Hello. Hello. बीच में नहीं बोल पाएंगे, वो लोग म्यूट करेंगे. नहीं है, अनम्यूट है. अनम्यूट ही है. नहीं, वो लोग कम म्यूट हो.
Atulji, your question.
My question is this: if I put in some cash in CC, additional base capital, then whether it will be automatically added to pro collateral or not? Hello.
Nilesh bhai.
Yeah, it will not be allocated, and you have to do a specific allocation to even prop also.
Okay. And if I want to withdraw funds, what will be the process for withdrawal?
To survive for withdrawal of fund operational process.
So for any type of collateral withdrawal, so first you have to ensure that it is available in your unallocated collateral table. So that can be seen from your collateral management module, which ICCL has provided, where you can see how much is unallocated, and all your withdrawals will be validated against that only. Now, suppose if you have unallocated of 1 lakh rupees and you want to withdraw, let us say 2 lakh, whether it's a 2 lakh rupees or 2 lakh worth of bank guarantee FDR, cash and cash equivalent. So if it is only 1 lakh available, then you can reduce the limits of respective clients or trading member or own limit, as the case may be, by uploading the ICOL file. And once those limits are reduced, and those limits will be reduced only if it is unutilized in the RTRM system against your margins. Once those limits are are free and they get added to your unallocated amount, and from there you can withdraw that collateral.
I have one more question. See, we trade on pro account, particularly on expiry day, weekly expiry day. There is margin used from pro collateral for pro trades only, and it is expiry trade. So at the time of withdrawal request, there is actually the amount is utilized, but by the end, when the file comes from NCL or the process, end of the day, that amount becomes free, and currently we are getting that money released around 6:30 or so. So will that same continue or not? Because unallocate, we'll do unallocate, but the margin will be used at that point of time. At 3:30, see, I have today, suppose today is Thursday, there is a nifty option expiry. I have used that margin selling some option, which is going to expire worthless. So that is there. But in that case, at 3:30, the margin utilization is there in pro account against pro collateral. But I want to release those funds, because at the end of the day, after the EOD process, the margin is getting released because the options have expired. So these currently we are able to get those funds back same day. Now, will that process change?
So in the new process, you will have to upload the iCall file with revised reduced limits for this clients. And so that reduction amount after the relevant RTRMS checks and everything, it will be added in your unallocated collateral. And from there, the withdrawals will be placed.
But madam, that free balance will be available in against pro collateral only up at 6 or 6:30. After that, you don't permit withdrawal of funds.
Till 8 o'clock, sir, we will allow withdrawals.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hello.
One second. Urvish, your question, please.
Vispi sir.
Just to clarify more point, yeah, Ajay.
You can place the request before 4:30. Once your allocation is reduced, we'll release your whatever cash is after the expired positions are removed.
So just to clarify your specific question, that when you are placing the request, you can even place it at 4:30. At that point of time, your unallocated amount is not available. However, by the end of the day, if that amount is available, then system will release it by end of the day.
Urvishji, your question. Srinivasji, Raju, your question. Mr. Tushar Marathe, your question, please.
Tushar from NVS Brokerage.
Yes.
My question is that the same implementation will be applicable for NRI clients. When suppose NRI client is suppose selling the stock, while selling the stock, will able to EPN end of the day. Hello. Hello.
Yes, please. Nilesh bhai, you can answer.
Yeah. What is the question? NRI client, what do you say?
Sir, even for NRI client, if we sell their share, provided if they don't have collateral or any sort of margin with us, will the early paying by end of the day would be complied?
Yeah, that is one way of doing it. A second way is, even if NRI client buys, if you see the circular dated probably 17th of March, NRI client, they may do deemed allocation, but you can justify by some reason code. It is mentioned in that circular.
Okay.
So NRI buy and sell will not be any issue.
Okay, sir, same for the individual, not non-NRI client. If he sells the share, but his ledger balance is 0, still it will be complied if we do early paying.
See, whatever shares that you are going to sell without any allocation, that will end. If you do early paying, there is no issue.
By end of the day.
By end of the day.
Before end of the day, you need to do early paying. So for all these sale, you don't need to allocate any amount as such in case market.
Okay. Sir, my second question is, third question is that where in RTRMS would we be able to check under which head where the allocation of segregation will be shown in RTRMS portal?
There are separate reports are available in RTRMS. Under report menu, you can see the clearing member limit used, wherein you can see the clearing member level utilization. Then we have a trading member limit use report, wherein you can see the trading member level utilization. Then we have a client level limit use. So all the client allocation you can see at this particular report. Client limit used.
Just a moment.
Separate segment wise reports are available. In bracket, you can see the segments.
We have only, ma'am, of
Equity cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see that report in under menu reports.
Under menu.
Reports.
Reports. Okay. We will go through it. And
all the allocation at different level you can see in the different reports, like clearing member level allocation you can see in the clearing member limit use, then the trading member limit use report is available, and then the client level limit use report is available.
This overall thing is, ma'am, for this segregation, right?
Right.
Which
Right.
we are, which BSE is working on API, right?
So whatever allocation you are provided in the collateral system, that allocation will reflect in the RTRMS under these reports.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that I got. But is this related to the new portal API which we are working on? Or that is totally different?
No, totally means API is for allocation purpose, if I'm not wrong. And this is the RTRMS
API is for allocation.
Allocation, right.
For allocation,
And
you have two options. Either you upload file or you use API or both.
Okay,
Right.
since we are not yet ready with the API, so this has to be uploaded in a BSE extranet portal under that collateral segregation, right?
Sir, you right now, since API you're going to use the file upload facility, you need to log into your member extranet portal. In that there is option uploads. In that uploads you have to select segment type as collateral allocation file.
Yes, yes. What we are doing as of now on day to day.
Yeah,
That
because
one, right?
sir, just like to reiterate one thing, ki, currently members are doing segregation file reporting also through extranet.
Yes.
And we observe that members are getting little confused with these two uploads. So they are two different menus. So for segregation, and for this collateral allocation, there is a specific name of the menu as collateral allocation file upload. So in that only you have to browse the file for collateral allocation file upload.
Just a moment, ma'am. I'll just check it.
Yeah, so we have given all these details in our two of our circulars. The latest circular, which was issued on 11th February 2022, notice number 46. You can refer to this circular. We have given the menu-wise option, everything we have narrated in the circular.
Sanjay ji, your question, please. Sanjay Shah. Apurva ji, your question.
Yeah, I have a very simple business model. My client gives me money, I buy the shares. Now he does it at the beginning of the day or maybe during the course of the day. So can I just do end of day reporting or do I need to do intraday reporting also?
Apurva ji, see, first of all and fundamentally, you need to allocate that money by way of file format or API at the beginning of the day. Otherwise, what will happen? Your client gives you money, but monies are with you. So CC is not aware. So there will be a deemed allocation, and you cannot justify that deemed allocation for waiving of penalty. So you need to do allocation before trading.
But so that means anytime during the day, whenever he gives me any FT, I first have to do the allocation, then only I can buy the shares?
Right. For buying, it is the process. For selling, it is okay. Selling, you don't need to do allocation. You can justify it by way of early paying. For buying, yes, you have to.
And if it is against a sell and then a buy or a buy against a sell, so I technically have to do a sell and then do a buy if I want to do it. But if I have to do a buy and against that I do a sell, it will not work.
No, step by step. Suppose when you say first buy, and if you have done allocation.
No. So wait 1 minute. Let me rephrase my question. My client wants to sell some shares and he wants to buy against that, for which, as you said, end of day I can do the allocation. It will not be.
So there is a little dilemma. Yeah, Purvaji, I got your point. There is a little dilemma on early paying credit, because it is not the exact money received. So we need to ask ICCL as well as NCL compliance team as such.
Okay. Now let me flip that question. If my client buys 1 crore worth of shares and he sells after an hour or 2 hours, another 1 crore of sales, and he nets it off. In my deemed allocation, it will show that the first time when he bought 1 crore worth of shares, I do not have the money.
Suppose he is buying 1 crore of Reliance, right?
Yes.
That time you have done allocation?
No, I don't have any money of his.
Okay. So correct. So that 20 lakh will be deemed allocation at a time of buying. right? Then what is your next concern?
So when by end of day, say at 2 o'clock, he sells 1 crore worth of shares, say Tata Steel.
Another shares, right?
Right, Tata Steel shares. So at the end of the day, typically what happens is his buy and sell gets netted out, and he's done early paying of the Tata Steel shares. So his margin obligation technically right now becomes 0.
So theoretically, when you report end of day margin or peak margin, these margin requirement are not peak margin, sorry, end of day margin. These can be netted off. But as I said, we need to clarify the concept of early paying from both the CC's compliance team.
No, that part I agree with you, sir. But
Because
my question was in the first part. So at say 10 o'clock, he's bought 1 crore of shares. So the intraday allocation, he's got 0 margin paid to me. So technically, I'm net out by 20 lakhs for that 1 crore purchase, right?
Right.
And then end of the day, he's netted it out. So it becomes okay. That we'll wait for the clarification. But during the intraday,
no, just 1 minute, hold on. He has netted out, he has squared off his Reliance position or some other shares.
He gives another shares.
Another shares. He sells another shares, right?
Yes. Yes.
That sale can be compensated by your early paying.
Right. But that happens at 3 o'clock in the evening.
Right.
But with the purchase which he did at 10 in the morning, for which he had not given me any money, how do I do that?
So basically, because
allocation, right?
Theoretically, you should not allow him to buy without allocation. That is a fundamental thing, right? But if you have done it, let's ask it to CC compliance team.
Okay. So I just need clarification on both these points. Thank you.
Umangji, your question, please.
Yeah. So if my client has done early paying of shares, say he's 100 Reliance is sold and he did early paying, and he also wants to buy with that early paying money, he wants to purchase some other shares. So, but for that, of course, he's not given the margin because he's done early paying. So what's the, how will you view that? Will any penalty be levied?
No, you just repeat your question. You have solved.
Yeah. So for example, my client has sold some shares worth rupees 10 lakh.
Right.
Now, and he's done early paying. And now he also wants to buy, after selling the shares, he wants to buy shares of other rupees 10 lakh. Now he doesn't have any margin, but will early paying act as his margin?
No, as I said, again, see, the net question, because few people still ask the same question. So few people says, same question. So again, I'm repeating. The early paying credit, whether the net question should be early paying credit will be used for buying some other thing, which in market we do it CFS, credit for sale. So that needs to be properly answered by CC's compliance team.
Okay. And in case of early paying, he's only sold the shares and done early paying, so that would come under deemed, and we can write there's a reason.
Yeah, see, early paying you don't need to worry, because whenever client sells anything, let CC do deemed allocation, because CC is not aware of the allocation for that client. But at the end, you can justify it because of early paying. So you will not be penalized for it.
Okay, so where do I justify it? Will there be a file or something? How will I justify it?
That is, I think, between the circular says it is like, to the best of my knowledge, between 5 to 6, you can give that. And probably, if I interpret the circular correctly, you have time till T+5. Just get a clarity from compliance team of CC. If you see the circular, they have written that all this reporting can be done by TM for clients by T+5. But please get clarification from CC.
Okay.
But you can justify. So selling, you don't need to worry.
Okay, so just early paying.
Early paying is manageable.
Yeah, I would just like to add here that our compliance team now will come up with a circular shortly on the mechanism through which members can upload their reasoning for such deemed collateral.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
A question from NJ India team.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, my question is that from where I can check the unallocated amount in the RTRMS system? Hello.
Unallocated amount is not available in RTRMS. Whatever you allocate in the collateral system, that will reflect in RTRMS. Okay. And say, in collateral system, Vijita, could you please guide with the report? Which report will provide the unallocated amount details?
Urvish, Vijeta here. See, in the new URL, the class URL which we have published, the segregation one, in that there is a new holding statement report. So that will give you a summary of your allocated and unallocated amount.
Correct.
Hello? Hello?
Urvish, you are on mute. Urvish? NJ India team, you are on mute.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Vijita, one more question in that regards. What are the timing for same day collateral release?
The existing timings, Urvish, the existing timings.
4:30, correct?
Yeah, the present existing timings, they will be the same for the end of the new releases.
So if we place a release request, say for example at 4 o'clock, so by what time the funds will be credited in our settlement account?
अभी present में जो होता है सर वो 40 minutes के time span में आपको मिल जाएगा.
Okay, and there are no charges for the same day release, right?
There are no charges present.
Okay, fine.
And the last question is that if we move the client's funds and do the allocation to Pro, is that okay?
Yusuf, we have already clarified this to you in our meeting that it is okay.
Is it okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
Thank you, Vijita.
Yeah. Vispi sir, I would just like to appraise the members here that we are going to have the present available collateral system which the members are accessing for from 2nd May onwards, which client collaterals allocation which would go live. We have a new URL published, new collateral system. So that URL we are right now incorporating a manual which we will upload on our website. So that circular we will issue shortly to the market giving details of the new URL.
Okay.
Yeah. So
a question from AB.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I had one query. Since I'm a clearing member of both the exchanges, NSE and BSE, but we have opted for clearing through NSE only. So do we need to report this in both the exchanges or only in the CC we are clearing from?
So you're talking about segregation reporting?
Yes, segregation reporting.
So you need to check with our compliance team. So basically, segregation reporting you have to do with your designated CC only.
Okay.
So you can check this with NSE clearing compliance team.
No, I am doing from NSE only. I thought I'll ask you for ICCL. Do I need to submit an ICCL also, the same thing?
So ICCL compliance team had already mentioned it before that where you are designated, you are supposed to do reporting with that CC only.
Okay, got it. And one more thing I had a query. Suppose you have 50% cash and 50% shares. So the share prices keeps changing and accordingly the margin will be changing. So we need to do it every day because as I was hearing in the meeting, you just need to report once if you don't change it. But technicality, it changes every day.
So we suggest, can you just get it clarified with your designated CC's compliance?
Okay.
Yeah.
So up to YouTube link.
Thank you.
Members, you can raise your virtual hands to ask questions, please. And there were queries with regards to compliance and related matters. So we have sent on the chat box the email IDs where you can raise your queries and team ICCL will respond to the same, please. Tusharji, your question, please.
Yes, sir. I just actually Vijayata ma'am was there while asking the question where in BSc extranet portal there is a head of collateral where we need to upload the file, right? So is there any file format notice where we can go through it? Because I'm
So,
not able to find. Sorry
yeah,
for.
so see, we have issued various circulars. The original circulars where we have published the file format, the circular was issued on 9th November 2021, notice number 52.
Okay.
And the latest circular, which we had given on operational modalities for both collateral system interface related and RTRMS, that circular we had issued on 11th February 2022, notice number 46. In this circular, the entire process along with reference circular links is given members easy reference. So you can refer to either of these circulars, you will get the file format.
Thank you, ma'am. And one more thing, do we have to upload the files on everyday basis? I just, because my connection went, some other person was asking the same question, but my connection went and I wasn't able to.
So we have clarified it earlier that for collateral allocation, it is like one time you have to upload till unless there is no change in the client's limit.
Okay.
So collateral
allocation. Tusharji, any more questions?
No, sir.
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hardikji, your question, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a question is regarding regarding an API testing, a UAT environment which has been given right now for a testing. There's an error code of 123 which refers to the system error. So want to understand that what that exactly means. Means of what a user should do if I get an error code that a system error. Whether I need to record, whether I need to upload the record again, or I need to make some changes in that.
Hi, Vijayta here. Can you please email that API error at ops@iccilindia.com because we need to see the screenshot along with for us to examine this matter. Yeah, and we will revert
No problem. I'll mail the.
Yeah, the API, what is the error, that snapshot, please email it to ops@iccilindia.com. We will respond to you.
Place those emails in the chat box if you can have a look. All the email IDs.
Sure, I'll do the mail.
Thank you, Wispy, sir.
Members, as we are coming close to the session, any more queries, please raise your virtual hands.
Vispiji, with your permission, can I make 2 points?
Oh, Nileshji, I was just going to come to you that in the closing remarks, would you like to say? So please, Nileshji, you can say. And Tushar bhai will request you also for the same. Nileshji, please go ahead for a message to our members.
Okay. There are 2 points. One, during this session, whatever we have represented from back office point of view, and wherever I mentioned that you need to clarify from the respective CC. So you please clarify that specifically the pointers which were related to early paying. Number one. Number two, many of the small brokers are still under impression because we are also getting a lot of calls from members. So just want to clarify that point on a fundamental side. Many small brokers says that I am not using client money. I am using my own money for all these exposure and trading, specifically in cash and F&O. So I would just like to mention, whether you use client money or not, the allocation is compulsory. You have to do allocation, otherwise there will be a deemed allocation. It is independent of whether you use client money or whether you use a client pledge share for replace. Even if you are not replacing, you need to do allocation. Right? That's it. Thanks.
There's one last question. It is a suggestion that ICCL should issue detailed circular similar to what NCL has issued on 17 March 2022.
Wispy sir, our operational modality circulars we had issued on 11th February 2022, notice number 46, prior to NCL circular.
Members, please note the same. Tushar bhai, would you like to say some closing remarks, please, for the members?
Yes, yes. So basically, here in this webinar, what we have tried to explain is purely from the trading limits in the collateral system as well as RTRM system of ICCL. There was no connection with the compliance requirements because members get confused. Trading limits which they do, though in their back office, with client vis-a-vis limits are same. But here, this webinar is exclusively to acquaint members with the process of how to allocate trading limits to their clients as per that SEBI circular for collateral allocation. That is a part 2 of that SEBI circular. Part 1 has been implemented from 1st October. So members need to do that compliance from that point of view, like client collateral reporting every day. That is a separate compliance altogether. From trading point of view and limits point of view, members need to upload this, based on their collateral lying with the clearing corporation, the breakup of client level, team level, and CM level limits, so that accordingly the trading limits will be available. So far as the non-cash collateral is concerned, the existing process of pledge replace will continue. So there is no change in that. And we request members to please actively participate in the third mock which we are going to conduct for this on this Saturday before going live from Monday. So that plus in addition to this, we have almost provided test environment to members since February, last week of February 2022, and that is even today available. So member can even tomorrow also fit in the test environment, and the mock environment they can test on Saturday. And if you have any further queries, these email IDs have been given. You can always send those email IDs, or you can call up the concerned team members to clarify this.
Thank you, Tushar bhai, for this detailed information. Before we conclude, a few comments from Lalitji. Would you like to share a few
Tushar
comments?
bhai, only one request, because the compliance team from ICCL was not available today. So if possible, we may have a session with them tomorrow, similar session at similar timings. That is option one. The other option is whatever queries, perhaps Nilesh bhai already has a compilation of questions which are answers are yet awaited. So if you can get, otherwise we can get the answers by tomorrow, so that everybody who is in a confused state may get clarity. And the third thing is whatever circulars issued so far, if you can get a gist and along with the details, circular number 1, what all is covered, circular number 2, what all is covered, and so that we can circulate to our members for their benefit. So these are the 3 points which I had to make. Otherwise, it was a very, very helpful session, and thank you so much, Tushar bhai, and all the team members from ICCL.
Sure, thank you, Lalbhai and Vishpi and all members for participating actively in this session.
Thank you, Tushar bhai, once again with your team, Hitesh Shah, Vijayta, Ajay, Trupti, Diksha, Pratiksha, Rahul, Dinkle, and Nilesh bhai from Contact. Thank you for your time today. Members, we have, as discussed, we have placed the email IDs for your respective queries. If you have, you can also reach out to BBF at contact@brokersforumofindia.com for your further queries. And thank you for listening to today's webinar, being a part of it. Once again, thank you very much, Team ICCL.